Hi, Ginger Gay here with Electronic Money Company, and I'm going to teach you how to read a merchant statement and understand the numbers that are on that statement. First, I want to explain to you that there are two basic types of fee structures. One is called tiered, and the other one is called interchange plus or cost plus. The wholesale rates for credit card processing are actually tabled in 1,000 different categories. I'm serious about this. There are 1,000 different rates a card can come in by. And so a tiered structure takes those rates and buckets them into three buckets, usually called qualified, mid-qualified, and non-qualified. The interchange plus type of structure actually gives you the interchange rate, the exact wholesale interchange rate of the card, plus the fees for Visa, MasterCard, and then adds on a plus, or what the processor is going to make on top of the wholesale rates in order to service your account. In Cost Plus, you'll know exactly what you're paying your processor. In tiered, you won't know exactly, but it's easier to understand if you like the basics of three simple rates. I also want to qualify the tiered by explaining that sometimes somebody has one flat rate. That means they pick a rate that is usually a little on the high side and it covers all the categories. PayPal does this. They have one rate, one transaction fee, one monthly fee. That's it. Then there are some companies which actually have more than three tiers. They might have a fourth tier for debit. Sometimes they have a cost plus when it's keyed in or from the internet, giving you up to 6 tiers. But what I'm going to show you is a basic 3-tiered rate statement and then a simple cost plus statement.
Okay, so I'm going to show you two statements. One is tiered, and it's going to be 3-tiered. That means 3 different buckets that all the transactions are funneled into. And the other one will be called, is an example of a cost plus or interchange plus statement. So let's start with the tiered statement. In both cases, I am dropping off the first 3 pages that are just verbiage and sort of fluff and wanted to get right to the nitty-gritty and the detail. So we are starting with page 4, and it starts by summary by card type. And here is listed the different card types: MasterCard, MasterCard Debit, American Express, Visa, Visa Debit, Discover, the average ticket for each of those card types, the number of items processed in the month, and the amount. So there were 34 items, $12,501.87 for MasterCard, Visa 32 items, $13,469.77. This section is refunds. This merchant had a total of 6 refunds, and then the net amount submitted. So the total for this merchant was 110 transactions, $39,623.60 deposited, 6 refund items totaling $848.71, and the net submitted to their bank $38,774.89. The next section is amounts funded by batch. So every day, every batch is listed here by date. This statement is an August statement. So you can see August 1st, there was a batch of $1405.35, and the second, this amount. The third, there were no batches, but on the 4th, there were 2 batches, and this goes on down through the month, listing all the batches for the month. This other little amount here, $263.77, we're going to talk about shortly. Amounts submitted is the next section of the merchant statement, and again, it's a breakdown by card type, whether it's a MasterCard, MasterCard Debit, American Express, Visa, Visa Debit, and Discover. Total's the same as above, really. Third-party transactions, there were none. Sometimes American Express is considered a third party, but this person has their American Express built into this statement, so they didn't have any third-party transactions. Adjustment chargebacks. There's that $263.77. It was an adjustment for a chargeback that was lost, and the money was taken out of the deposits. Actually, with a chargeback, the money is taken out immediately, and then it is researched, and the merchant has an opportunity to provide data to explain why it shouldn't have been charged back. So maybe the merchant is sending in copies of invoices and signed receipts and various supporting documents. But first the money comes out, and then if the research proves to be correct, the refund gets added back in at a later time. Fees charged. Okay, first category, MasterCard. And I mentioned this was 3 tiers. So of all the thousands of categories of rates, this processor is bucketing them into 3 categories. One is called Discount 1, which is also called Qualified. Qualified is typically swiped credit cards, swiped debit cards. Then the next category is mid-qual or mid-qualified, and that category is typically swiped rewards cards or keyed-in charge cards. Non-qualified or N-qual, as it is abbreviated here, that is typically commercial cards, corporate cards, or keyed-in rewards cards. So the 3 buckets represent the lowest rates go into the first bucket, the middle cards that have a middle risk or a little bit higher rate go into this bucket, and then the highest rated cards that have the highest risk, typically corporate cards, keyed-in kind of cards, sometimes go into non-qualified. This particular merchant has a rate of 1.89%. 0.0189 is the same as 1.89% for qualified cards. Mid-qualified is 2.89%, and non-qualified is 2.89%. So under MasterCard, this is the volume of mid-qualified cards they had, the rate, and the charge. Again, non-qualified, this is the volume, the amount, the rate, and the charge. That's the rate multiplied by the volume.